What's up, everyone? I am Magicide, and welcome to a brand new series here. I've been talking about it in my two previous series, or at least my one previous series, the other one's still ongoing, that I was planning on perhaps doing another Crusader Kings II campaign. And as I spoke in those other series, I was thinking about doing an achievement run. This time, I really wanted to do one of the timed achievements. There are 3 timed achievements. There's the one where you start in 769 and you play all the way until 1453. The second one is where you start in 867 and play till 1453. And then the third one is where you start in the year 1066 and play until 1453. I have the first two. I do not have the 1066 one, so we're going to go for that. And I also was hoping to piggyback up on 2 other achievements and kind of make this a themed achievement run. The one that I'm really specifically trying to gun for is the Iron Crown achievement, where you basically have to start as a person with the Lombard culture, and then you have to acquire either a kingdom or an empire title at least by the year 1300. And I think I'm pretty sure the way it would work is as long as you're Lombard and you have one of those 2 titles, or one of those 2 rankings, I guess, even after 1300, I think you should still be eligible. You just have to start off as a Lombard person and still be Lombard, of course. And then the third achievement that I'm going to try to go for is the I'm Sorry Desiderata, where you have to be a Christian. Or I don't remember if it's actually Christian or if it's specifically Catholic. I think it might be just Christian. But you have to be a Christian, and you have to divorce a Lombard princess. I don't know how well we're going to be doing with actually conquering and spreading our culture around with the given time that we have, because we've only got about maybe 4.5 centuries to play, starting in 1066. Oh, it's about 4 centuries. But we're going to have to explore that down the road, because if we become a king, we might just have to save one of our daughters and marry our daughters and divorce them, because that will definitely count, because they will indeed be a princess and be Lombard. So anyways, I'm going to get started here and screw around with the game options. I will put a little timestamp link down in the description in case you want to skip past this. I wouldn't blame you if you did. So I've done a couple playthroughs with this, and this is going to be interesting and very hectic. If we look here in the cultures overlay, there are plenty of people with the Lombard cultures, or excuse me, Lombard culture. So you've got, okay, this guy, okay, so that guy's Norman. He wouldn't count. So you got Salerno here. You got Amalfi. And then, let's see here. You're not it. And then this guy down here is a Prince Bishopric, so he wouldn't count. So you only really have to choose between Salerno and Amalfi here. I've done a couple playthroughs, just really short, just to see, what the haps and the craps is. And I think we're going to go with the Duke of Salerno here. He's really the only one that's absolutely eligible, I think, that actually has a chance. So let's get started here. We're going to definitely be playing on Iron Man, of course. As far as the minor epidemics, I think we're going to do fewer there. Let's see here. As far as all the invasions and stuff goes, I actually really want to keep that on random. The Reapers do major epidemics. I think it's dynamic is the most. Right, okay, so we'll keep that on dynamic. The secret religious cults, we are going to keep that off. Speaking of which, I have all of the DLC turned down except for the Conclave expansion and the Monks and Mystics expansion. I have the actual expansion packs, that provide you with the cosmetic features and everything, but as far as like the mainline expansions for both of those, I turn those off. I really can't stand Conclave. And as far as Monks and Mystics goes, you can just go and trawl Reddit sometimes and hear all of the woes that people have had to put up with that expansion. So I'm gonna keep that off. All right, so the Turkish conquerors, we're gonna keep you on random. Shattered Retreat sucks ass. We absolutely don't want that on. See, I wish we could turn off the non-epidemic diseases, because they're ass. They suck. So I guess we'll just have to, unfortunately, keep it on default. Defensive packs, we'll turn that off. Let's see here. What else can we do that isn't going to break Iron Man here? Okay. Unstable, sounds good. Can we actually change that? Is that possible? Because we actually really want culture conversion. Right, okay, so we'll just keep that to default. Okay, rating historical. I don't think we could turn off adventures, right? Okay. So let's see here. Diplomatic range, we'll keep that on. Although, you know, we could potentially do it restricted like we're doing in our Crusader Kings II A Game of Thrones mod playthrough as Noth. I had that as restricted. Seemed to make most sense there. But here, I think we're just going to leave it as is. Okay, Regency's on. Okay, Seduction, we are actually going to turn that off because that is hella annoying. Especially when you get that one powerful duke or something like that. He takes the seduction focus and he just keeps, you know, seducing your wife. And then you end up having some children of questionable bloodlines. It's really annoying. I always turn that off. It's just terrible. Let's see here. I really wish this would not break Iron Man, the release prisoners after punishment. It just doesn't make sense. Just because I go down to my dungeons and I lop off somebody's finger doesn't mean that I should automatically boot them from my dungeon. They should just stick down there and, you know, maybe have a second round of some torture. All right. I think that's pretty much it. It's just fairly cut and dry. Since I have Conclave and Monks and Mystics off, I think there would be a couple other rules that would be available here. But since we're keeping them off, let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to be Iron Man Salerno 1.7.1. Let's go ahead and do it. All right, guys. So after this, I'm gonna cut it off here, simply because a lot of people don't really want to sit there and look at the rule set. So I will be back momentarily. All right, welcome back, everybody. So here we are. We're starting off as Salerno here, and if we take a look at our realm overlay here, we are just one province strong. I think we own a little bit of Amalfi over here. I'm not entirely sure if we are actually considered a one-province minor technically because we are a duchy. But since we are only one province, I guess it technically counts. So just zooming out here, we are in a very precarious position here. We've got the Holy Roman Empire, the HRE, which is massive to our north. And then we've got the Byzantines over to our east. And if you play in earlier bookmarks, they actually own various bits of the southern Italian peninsula and parts of Sicily down here in Malta, I believe. They shouldn't really be too much of a problem because they're going to be constantly fighting the Seljuks, and eventually, once Chinggis Khan ends up arriving, they're going to be another threat that they're going to have to face. But our biggest problem here is going to be our competitor, is Apulia here. The problem with Apulia is, for one, they're our next door neighbor, and they're much bigger than us and have a hell of a lot more troops than we do. Like, for instance, they have 3,000 troops, and we have a measly 1145. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to expand. We're going to have to conquer as much as we can. Normally, in my test playthroughs, what they did is either Apulia himself, the Duke, declared a holy war, or it would be Messina, or even both of them sometimes. And they would go after these two provinces here. So we need to beat them to the punch to actually get that. For as far as expansion options go, let's take a look at our guy here. So we have a strong claim on the Duchy of Amalfi, which means that we can actually do a de jure war with these guys. And we also have a strong claim on the Duchy of Capua. But if we go over here and take a look and try to declare war on him, unfortunately, for whatever reason, we can't actually declare war on them. We're going to actually have to fabricate some claims. As far as future expansion goes, I mean, we do have options here. We have Sardinia over here, and then we have all these little Muslim nations over here. Everything's so fractured, and with that big-ass France, we've got Aragon, Navarra, Leon, and Galicia, Castile, whatever else. So we do actually have options of expanding westward, but at the moment, I think we really need to secure our power down here in actually the Sicilian island, because we need to beat Apulia to the punch. So let's go ahead and get started here. Let's make Salerno our crown focus. Let's take a look at our guy here. Our stats are actually pretty good. Our stewardship is abysmal. Holy shit, man. Look at this. We've only got one province that we can own. That is awful. So I think, first of all, what we should do is we should set our guy to get married. So let's go ahead and do that. And And I think we're going to try to go for somebody with high stewardship, absolutely. So let's go ahead and do that. As far as our focus, I guess we have no choice but to go with stewardship. The other thing is we should probably take a look at our vassals. They all like us since we start off in 1066. You know what? Speaking of which, I actually want to keep him off from leading troops, even though he's got a martial score of 13. Since we start off in 1066, if we go over here to our succession laws, we could immediately change it. Galvakine sucks balls, so we're going to go primogenitor straight away, and then later down the lines we're going to change it to the agnatic cognatic option. You know, I was thinking about this before, and it would be really cool to actually try to go Cathar and then maybe replace the Pope with a Cathar Pope. But seeing that we have all of these other Catholic nations that are around us that are just absolutely humongous, I don't think that's going to be in my best interest to do. So I think we're just going to stay Catholic. But anyways, since we're playing with Conclave off, we don't have any of the other weird laws we have to go through. So we're going to change our centralization to low. Hopefully that'll change our domain once we actually get started here. So we don't start off with an heir, but we have a whole bunch of siblings here that are unmarried. And I think we should absolutely marry them off. So we don't want to marry her off to my uncle. How about this man right here? We want somebody nice, big, and strong. You're married to Apulia. You need to get married to somebody. How about the Princess of the Danes? And you need to get married. Let's have you do... What a martial score. How about the Princess of Norgi? Okay, so since you're my heir now, let's actually have you do a stewardship-focused lady. And... Okay, that's right. You're married to that random person. Let's go into intrigue here. Let's have it auto-stop plots. Hire a court physician. And, all right, so our counselors here are looking pretty good. They all like us, which is excellent. So what we'll do is we'll have you research cultural tech. And since we're starting off in 1066, everybody starts off on a level playing field when it comes to technology. If we look at our technology screen, I think it's pretty much this for everybody, if I'm not mistaken. So if we click on Study Technology and just zoom around the map, there is nobody here that we can actually do. But that'll change over time. Some people will get faster technological breakthroughs, and we'll have to go and rape their technological progress. Okay, we'll take our steward here to collect taxes, you to train troops. So here's the thing, is since we are in a non-aggression pact with Apulia, because of that marriage with one of our sisters, we're not under any threat of them attacking us. However, the unfortunate part, you know, the opposite end of the spectrum is that we also can't attack them since we have a non-aggression pact. Now, if we break the pact, not only will that hurt our relations with them by a bunch, but it'll also give us a peace deal for a while, and we're in no position to actually attack or be attacked by them. So that is something that we have to be aware of. And the reason why I'm bringing that up is because, you know, basically we could sit there and expand and consolidate our power a bunch and try to continue on getting non-aggression pacts with Apulia here. But we want to be opportunists. So when these guys actually, when there's a crusade call, I'm assuming that these guys are going to jump in. And once they are marching their troops or sailing their troops over here and they're busy elsewhere, what I'd like to do is just attack them and start taking provinces away from them. So that's something that we need to be aware of down the line. But since we aren't really in a position to do that yet, we could either improve relations with them. I don't think we need to do that. We have a de jure claim on Amalfi here, so we don't need to worry about them. So we're going to go after Neapolis here, try to fabricate a claim there. And the other thing we should do, let's take a look at our regent. Okay, great. So he is a Lombard, which is good. He is Midas's Touch, which is even better, and he's got 18 stewardship. You should be our designated regent. Absolute. Okay, so I've got 2 subpar commanders here, and it looks like, yeah, I don't really have anybody to replace them with. That is terrible. So what I think I'm going to need to do is probably promote a commander. Okay, so you are excellent. Let's actually take a look at our marshal right now. You got a 12. Let's put the guy with 19 score. Have him train the troops. Oops. And then we'll go to our commander situation here. So I guess we're just going to have to... You know what? I'm just going to have him resign. I don't really want a subpar commander. It's better that you just don't even have the commander than have a shitty one. Especially if you have, you know, all 3 slots of your army fulfilled by those guys. Right. Okay, so we already got married. What we need to do right away, before we actually... So we need to declare a holy war with these guys. Okay. And they obviously have more troops than we do. So what we're going to have to do is raise our levies. We're going to have to go borrow money from the Jewish merchants here and go into the mercs, separated by cost. And then we're going to go down to the... where are you guys? The Bulgarian band here. They're 150 coin, and they only cost 8.46 ducats a month. This is probably our best option, because that's going to make us, like, completely hemorrhage money. So what we need to do is we absolutely need to finish this war, like, right away. Okay, we actually have a battlefield terrain modifier, or a master. You know, I should almost have him lead, just simply for that reason. So let's go ahead and do that, and let's go down here and attack them right away. The last couple playthroughs, there's been some really wonky things. So sometimes he'll actually sail his troops up to our capital here. Messina almost always declares war on them, so it just becomes one really big mess here. We absolutely need the gold. Very good. Okay, I think people are saying yes to our marriage proposals. Good. Okay, so we got married. Let's go ahead and change our ambition to have a son. And, okay, so we have a Germanic mystic that we can make our... Awesome. Yeah, sure, man. I don't care. Whatever. What the hell? Yeah, so they're gonna... We are losing money like nobody's business here. And we're the only ones at war with them. I'm wondering if we're going to be able to actually win this battle here, because our money situation is shit. Okay, let's see here. We got some marriage proposals to random courtiers of ours. Let's go ahead and do it. So, okay, so Apulia is... awesome. So, okay, so Apulia here is attacking in this holy war. Excellent. So that's going to take care of our problems with these guys attacking our province. So that gives us the possibility of actually winning this war a little faster in here. Well, okay, so he's marching his troops down. Okay, so he's going to help us siege this down, which is pretty fantastic, because we actually really needed a little bit of boost here. We are losing money so goddamn quick right now. Like, we're not going to be able to keep up this merc band. Like, this is going to get pretty desperate. And with his extra troops there, I think we can almost start to assault his holdings here in a minute. Okay, so we siege them down. That's great. So we can lose a little bit of money and impress everybody. Let's go ahead and do that. It's only like 2 point something gold. So we absolutely need to, like, hurry up and siege this down, like, as soon as possible. Besides, the cities don't really make a difference. Oh, Christ. What's my siege progress? Wow. Okay, so it's 4% every 2 days. Alright, so I had a daughter here. That's not so good. Let's actually have her get married matrilineally right away. Let's see if there's... genius. Oh, okay, no geniuses. Quick. Strong. Okay, so we have a 12-year-old strong man here. Let's go ahead and get her married to him. So I think what I'm going to have to do here, potentially, is attack his army. I think I'm going to have to just march my guys back up there and do it. Okay, so let's see here. My kinsman here needs to... have a bride. Since you're 6, let's go ahead and give you this lady here, and you need a guardian. Let's Let's have you do this. Not you. How about this man here? He's got a high martial score. We're going to try to make some future commanders. So I'm now known as the Cruel for some reason. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. Alright, we need to march our asses up there and start taking out his army, like, straight away. Okay, so you've got a marshal at 25. Wow. Yes, absolutely. So let's actually change this around. You're going to train our troops so we can actually have another commander here. Wow. Excellent. And you've got 19. That's pretty fantastic. Let's have our dude over here do that side. Okay, well, actually, you are the inspiring leader, and then you'll just do the flank there. Sounds pretty good to me. I think what we could do is we could probably just sit here. He's going to attack into us. No, he's not. Okay, so we're just going to have to take the straight crossing here and hope and pray that we actually win this fight. So we're doing pretty good here. Yeah. Yeah! Get some. Okay, let's take a look at our war score. Okay, so we can actually ransom this guy off. Oh, we can't. I wonder why. Guess he just doesn't have the money. We really need to hurry this up. Okay, perfect. He's going to go to our province. We're just going to assault that right away to take it away from him. Alright, Nikes. Okay, so it looks like we lost a commander here, unfortunately. Okay, we're gonna have to assault this thing, like, straight away here. Oh, 99%. Will you take a peace deal, please? No! Awful! Alright, so we need to hurry up. Go, go, go. Yeah, catch him. Get out of my land. Mine. Alright, there's our 100%. So let's go ahead and offer the peace. Booyah. Okay, so we got exactly what we wanted to. Let's go ahead and stand down our mercs. And as far as our troops go, let's go ahead and just put them back in Salerno. As far as Palermo goes, let's create some new vassals. And they all should be Lombard and Catholic, if I'm not mistaken. And we are now at our domain limit because our stewardship is awful. And we're gonna be suffering for a while, I think. Let's see here. Let's actually take a look. Okay, so we already changed the laws. We can't move anybody around. And we have 2 prisoners here. Oh, wow, that sucks. It doesn't give me the... Since I took Monks and Mystics... Since I didn't turn Monks and Mystics... Since I didn't turn it on, it's not giving me that macro decision for the prisoners. That's pretty terrible. I thought that was like just a general quality of life feature, but I guess not. Alright, so we are in a good position now because not only does Apulia not border these guys anymore, but we actually managed to take it away from them potentially and getting control of it. Which is excellent. Okay, so the Pope hates us because we are greedy, wrath, and we took some money from the Jews. Let's actually go ahead and save our game. Hard save it right here. I think this is a pretty good start. I think I'm actually going to call it an episode. I just really wanted to actually get started here and kind of go from there. Our guy now is 33, so we potentially have a while before he croaks. As far as our future expansion goes, we could declare war with these guys, but they have a lot more troops than we do, I think. Or at least at the moment. We've got a total of 270 some troops. That's awful. So we'd be in a position to actually attack this guy. And maybe even potentially him. right? Okay, because it's somebody else that actually owns Malta. All right. Very well. See, on one of my previous test plays, I actually took over these two provinces here, and then I got lucky because I actually caught the guy in battle and ransomed him off, and winning the war and getting a whole bunch of money to actually keep my mercs around. So I was able to declare war on these guys like right away. But the problem with it is one of these bigger Muslim nations down here actually joined in on their defense on their behalf, and I wasn't able to win that war. So I think we should probably be careful of that. If anything, our next route of expansion should be Amalfi here. That makes sense to me. I actually really want to start taking away these possibilities away from Apulia. And not only that, you know what? We really want to be careful about bordering the HRE. So as far as Capua goes, we might just chill from that. I don't really want to be a target for the HRE. At some point, we may end up start on Cagliari here and the rest of Sardinia. But anyways, thank you very much for joining me. I'm very much motivated and looking forward to this series. This is going to be stressful, and I'm not going to... I'm not really much of a betting man. I'm pretty good at this game, but I'm definitely not like a pro. This is going to be pretty difficult, I have to say. It'll be very interesting to see how things actually play out, but we need to be cautious, and we need to be strong, and we need to be opportunists. We'll see how it goes in our future episodes, but hope you enjoy it, and I hope to see you guys for the rest of the series. Thank you very much. Take care.